Gay pride. It means many things to many people. For some, it's a celebration of life. For others, it's a movement for the right to exist. For brands, it's just a marketing opportunity. As soon as Pride Month rolls around, you can bet your ass anybody that wants to sell you anything is slapping that rainbow all over their social media platforms. I think what irks me about this is just how transparent it all is. It's just an easy way for these companies to score brownie points with the community without actually having to do anything. They don't care about you, and they don't care about making a statement if that statement might impact their bottom line. They don't adopt the same marketing in countries where it's not as widely accepted, and I don't remember them flying the flag basically any time before the last 10 or so years. These brands only adopt these movements when it's safe to do so. Think back to the 90s. How many of the companies you see doing this stuff today were doing it back then, when it actually might have been a bit bold and controversial, when they might have caught some flack, maybe lost some profit? How many of these companies were willing to stand up in solidarity for gay rights? Here's one for you. Mattel. In 1993, Mattel made a gay Ken doll. Now that's bold. Unfortunately, it was actually an accident, and when they realized Ken was gay, they pulled him from stores. But it was too late. Gay Ken sold like hotcakes. So, how did this all go down? How the hell did they accidentally make Ken gay? Let's have a look-see-loo. Mattel started making Barbie dolls in 1959. By 1961, Barbie had a boyfriend, Ken. As an interesting side note, the inventor of Barbie, Ruth Handler, named Ken after one of her real-life children, just as she had done with Barbie. Apparently, the real-life Ken had a hard time growing up with a famous doll named after him, and was humiliated by the doll's lack of genitalia. Of course, Ken never sold quite as well as Barbie. It makes sense, really. He's more or less just an accessory for Barbie. I can't imagine there were too many people buying Ken dolls without having Barbie dolls. But by the 90s, Mattel was examining Ken's lackluster performance and looking for a solution. Supposedly, they were looking into discontinuing Ken and bringing out a new and improved boyfriend. Yes, Barbie was really going to get rid of Ken and replace him, the dirty whore. Mattel decided to survey a bunch of young girls, and the girls decided that Barbie should hang on to Ken. Whatever collectors decided to do behind closed doors was their own business, but Barbie's official body count was to remain 1. They did think that Ken could do with an updated look, makeover, if you will. And so the girls were asked what would make Ken cooler. Now, the 90s were a time when gay culture was starting to see a little more representation in the media. It was a time of boy bands, MTV and rave. It wasn't unusual to see a music video where a lad was wearing a tube top and 17 earrings. As a kid, you didn't understand much of this beyond the sense it was somehow alternative. And that was cool. I remember being a young child in the 90s with an older sister. I thought her posters of Boyzone and Aqua were the definition of cool. If you had spiked hair with blonde tips, you were A-OK in my book. Have facial piercings or slits shaved into your eyebrows? Wow, now that's cool. Of course, I was like 4 years old at the time. If I had been going around with a Boyzone CD as a teenager, some questions might have been asked, but that was all lost on me as a kid. If you had shown me the Village People as a 4-year-old, I probably would have told you I wanted to be like them when I grew up. And so the kids gave their ideas of what was cool to the toy designers, and it was pretty much all the stuff I just described. Somehow the toy designers were as clueless as the children, and in 1993 the all-new Ken was introduced in Barbie's Earring Magic line. Ken's brown hair now had a two-tone dye job, and his... well, just look at him for fuck's sake. He's wearing a purple mesh shirt with a vinyl purple vest on top of it. He has a shiny earring, and although they were savvy enough to put it in the quote-unquote straight ear, it's still a fairly bold look for the time. He's got... what's that around his neck? He appears to be wearing some sort of ring as a necklace. It's like the toy designers went to a gay rave and just picked the loudest outfit they saw to take inspiration from. If you were to go to a gay bar during Pride Month, the majority of people there would be dressed subtler than Ken. But Ken's been out for a while. He's comfortable with who he is. Barbie was out crowdsourcing her opinion on whether or not to keep him, and he decided he didn't need that kind of treatment from any woman, so he left her to embrace who he really is. I'm happy for Ken. Of course, it didn't take long for people to realise that Ken was visually coded as a stereotypical gay man. Commentators from the gay community were able to point out the elements of Ken's new look which were dead giveaways for those in the know. Particularly the ring around his neck, which looks very similar to a sex toy, one which is often worn by members of the gay community as a fashion statement, particularly at raves. All he was lacking was the accessory poppers. As such, many gay people took a keen interest in Earring Magic Ken and flocked to stores to pick him up. Reportedly, gay Ken flew off the shelves and, according to some, is the best-selling Ken doll of all time. Although I couldn't confirm that with certainty because Mattel prefers to keep hush about the whole thing. Yes, of course, when Mattel realised what everyone else immediately pointed out, they pulled Earring Magic Ken from store shelves 6 weeks after he came out. The main reason for this was the association between the children's doll and the sex toy he appeared to be wearing, although I'm sure Mattel wasn't too pleased by the idea that they had made Ken gay either.
Vito? What the fuck?
Sal, hey.
Fuck you doing?
Nothing. I was here. It's a joke. Guys, come on. It's okay.
You think so?
Sal, please. It's a fucking joke.
Right. Sure. Say hi to your wife.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
Sal, please. Don't say nothing, Sal!
Honestly, if Mattel had any business sense whatsoever, they would do a special re-release of Magic Earring Ken. Maybe without the ring. They'd make a fortune, and the controversy it would cause today is probably negligible. I'm surprised they haven't done it already. Originally, the doll cost about $12, and out of curiosity, I looked up what it fetches on the secondary market today. The first result was on eBay and was put up by some comedian who priced the doll at $69. So, there you go. Earring Magic Ken. He was ahead of his time. To this day, I don't believe there's been any LGBT characters in the Barbie franchise, but that's probably only a matter of time. I can foresee them making a new doll for one of the future Pride months, slapping the rainbow on the box, and then fucking the whole lot of them in the bin once Pride is over. But you know, there is a brand that keeps the rainbow, not just for 1 month of marketing, but all year round. That's right. It's Qxir, baby. Subscribe now, buy all the merch, and give me the money. Apparently, the real-life Ken had a hard time growing up with a famous doll named after him and was humiliated by the doll's lack of genitalia.